Welcome to another video. So in this video we're going to be replacing the fuel sending unit float on a Hyundai Santa Fe. This is one thing I find a little bit disgusting on these cars. They go bad. They don't last. You know, it seems like it's a very common thing to go bad. They're very expensive and they're hard to replace. There's actually two of them. So why do you need two sending units? There must be a reason, and somebody's welcome to correct me, but I think it's very silly to have two. So the amount of work to take it apart and to figure out which one is bad outweighs just buying two of them, replacing them both. So you will get a engine light come on and your gauge will stop working with these. You find these on eBay or Amazon or wherever very cheap, but I would not put a cheap one in for the amount of work, and these are very expensive in my opinion. I mean, for a fuel sending unit, they're expensive. Look around and you'll see yourself. So we need two of those. We need two rubber gaskets, what we have here, and we need a special tool, of course. Now, the tool you can get off of Amazon. It's not crazily expensive, but you do need a special tool. We're going to go step by step, and we're going to make it easy. Also, just like I explained, if you take it somewhere, that's why it's going to be expensive to fix. So the first thing we want to do is we want to relieve the fuel pressure in the system. So we're going to go up front, and I'm going to show you what fuse to pull out. And then we're going to start the car, let it run until it shuts off, and that will relieve all the pressure in the system. So we're going to do that next, and then we'll move on. Okay, so here we are up front. So you can see all our fuses here, and here's the numbers. Now, whenever you do this, the top will tell you where everything's at, but it doesn't necessarily have an order, so you kind of got to look at it and see, like, it's got these fuses all down here, and if you look at it, there's only three of them over here. Well, we got two, and one is missing because it doesn't have an option. So if you look right there, it says fuel pump right here. We got to pull that out. So when we pull this out, and it's there, you go, and then we're going to start the car, and we're going to run the car until it shuts off. That will relieve all the fuel pressure in the system. And then we're going to move the back, and we're going to start taking it apart. Okay, so we're going to move to the back. We're going to open our cover. We're going to get this spare tire thing out of the way. And you see there's a screw here, our tow hook. There's a screw there, and there's a screw here. So we're going to take those screws out, and then this whole piece will lift out of there. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take that whole piece and lift it straight out. So we're going to do that next, and then we'll move on. Okay, just to show you, when you lift this out, this has these tabs right here. These little tabs are like here, 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 and over here. So what you do is you just take a little screwdriver. Once you can lift up on the back a little bit, you take a little screwdriver and push in on it, and it'll pop it loose inside there. I just wanted to show you that. We got that loose, and we're going to keep moving. Okay, so next thing we got to do is remove this thing here. So as you can see there, you'll see them. They're plain right out in front of you. There's a couple screws here. And if you open it up, there's a screw over here. There's a screw in the middle, and there's a screw over on this side. So we get all those screws out, and then we'll be able to lift this piece out of there. So that is our next step. So we're going to get that out of the way, and then we'll see what's next. Okay, so now you can see everything you've lost over the years. We got a screwdriver here, we got all this other stuff, and this was a lot of stuff. So you get your little vac out, vacuum it out, French fries, ketchup, everything like that, depending on how many kids you got. So at any rate, next thing we got to do is we got to remove the seat. So there's a couple screws here in the back. We remove the screws in the back, and then what we're going to do is we're going to move up to the front, and if we look underneath, there'll be screws right here. Oh, there you go. Okay, so a lot of these, they come originally with a black cover over it. You just pop the cover off and you'll be able to get to the bolt. But if there's no cover on it, you see the bolt there. Okay, this one's got a cover on it. You see the cover, you just pop it off. There's a bolt under there. Remove all the front bolts in the seat. There's 4 of them. And then take the seats out. So we're going to do that next, and then we'll move on. Okay, so it's cleaned up a little bit. I just wanted to show you, so the fuel gauge is under here, which is under the seat, as you can see. Now this one, you can see we have to get inside here, but the carpet is not cut completely. That means it's never been accessed. But the other side, somebody cut completely out. So most people, if you can see in the back, it's not cut, they just leave it attached in the back and it's like a flap. But I don't know why, and it looks like somebody put a little bit of glue here to stick to the carpet. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if somebody got in there to check it and to see, you know, what happened, or if somebody said, hey, this one's bad, I'm gonna replace it, and put a cheap one in and it failed again, or if that side's still good and this one's still bad. So at any rate, we got 2 new ones. We're going to stick 2 new ones in. So the first thing we've got to do, I'm going to open this up. We got to start from the passenger side. So I'm going to open that up and then we'll move on and I'll show you what we got to do. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is we just pry, this piece just pries up on. I just use a little, it's not a little, but a pry bar, and just stick under there and pry it. It's just got like this rubber stuff that's like real sticky glue. So you get that up, and then what you got to do, you're going to pull this through, and you go under there and you unplug it. It's just got a push plug, unplug it, get that out. Then if you look under here, there's a clip that holds it in, and I just use a tool like this, get under there and pop the clip out. So that's the first thing we're going to do, is we're going to unplug this. We're going to pop that clip out. Then if you go to the other side, there's another clip like that. If you can see it, there's a little clip down here. There's another one on the other side you're going to pop out, and then you're going to pull the wire through. And that will give us the room we need to work. So we're going to get that done, and then we will move on. Okay, so it is off. Our wire's out of the way, our wire's pulled through. And this just lifts up. It's easy enough to stick it back in there. And next thing we got to do, we're going to remove the fuel line. So this just pushes in this little white button here, and then you pull it out. So you want to be careful, you know, plastic, especially when it gets old, everything's plastic, don't break anything. So wiggle it around, try some, don't, you know, be careful how you put pressure on it. You just do not want to break it. It's going to give you a nightmare. The next thing we got to do after we get that undone is we take our tool, we put our tool in here. There it goes. Now, you put a wrench on there and a bar, or, you know, a breaker bar, or whatever you need. It sometimes it's still really sticky, and you just got to take and tap on it a little bit, break it loose. But it will come off. But we take that ring off, and then we will show you what's next. Okay, so I want to show you what's going on here. So our ring is loose. Now there's one more thing over here, and why they were nice enough to put the release on the bottom, I don't know, but there's a release on the bottom. You push up on the bottom and it releases it from this edge here. You see that was turned around, right? It just takes a little bit of patience. You know, you pretty much got to figure it out. I don't know how to explain it, but once you get it loose, you know, you can turn it a little bit, get the ring off of there, and then you'll be able to pull it up. Now, let any loose fuel drain out of it. And then I always stick a pan here in case have fuel better in the pan than all over your carpet. But we're going to get that, and then we'll move on. Okay, so there it is up out of there. There's a connection on the bottom of this, so that's out far enough for us. I'm not going to bother messing with anything else. So as you can see, here's our float. You know, and a lot of times that's what, if you look, they got a thing in there, and they wear, and they can, you know, as you drive, they move away from the reading part. Most of the time, that's what goes bad with them. Anyway, what we got to do is just unplug it. You see how the wires are wrapped around here to keep them from getting in the way of anything. So put it back the way you found it. We got our new one here. Pretty simple, just stick it back in there. Now, once I took that ring off, I found more dirt around there, so I'm going to do another vacuum on it. Least amount of dirt. You don't want dirt falling down in your tank. It's a, you know, can be a problem. And then our gaskets here, of course, that's our gasket. We got our new gasket. So I'm going to vacuum a little bit, replace it, put the new gasket on there, and then we'll see about putting it back in. Okay, so got our new gasket in there, our old gasket. So you just got to slide the gasket over the top and work it in. When you look down at this, it has more room on the back than it does the front. But obviously the thing goes in there. So what you kind of got to do is work it in there. You want to slip the ring on it while it's still turned, because then you'll have room to get the ring on there. Then you turn the whole thing around and, you know, first put your lock ring on there and then snap the two lines back on there. So the ring, you know, it looks clean on one side. It's got a ridge on one side. So you want the ridge up. So at any rate, we're going to go ahead and get that done, and then we're going to move on to the other side. Okay, so I just want to show you what's going on. You can see the ring is started in here, but it's not all the way tight. I got my hoses on, so this one is difficult to get on. And you may take a screwdriver, and because you can't get behind it and push on a little bit, but it will clearly click when it's in place, in the same way with this one. The other thing I was going to show you is, you can see this little green mark here, and then there's a little green mark here. So that is where they lined up from the factory. And I don't know if it's just a check or if they like it to go that way, but I just stick it back that way. I think it will pretty much go in any position because they all seem, you know, centered pretty much. I just stick it back that way. That's the way it was. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I just wanted you to kind of see what's going on here. Okay, so the same way, we got this one pried loose, and we just push this thing, our gasket, through there. And if you look down here, there are a couple plugs, one here, we need to take loose. So they just have, you know, simple plug clips on them. Unplug those, and then we'll be able to flip this thing out of the way. That's our goal. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so it's all loose. Again, you got to vacuum it out. Make sure, you know, you don't have any dirt. So this is just a push pin. You push it in, slide this off. This one, again, they were nice enough to put it on the bottom. You can spin it a little bit and see. Not too much, you know, like, again, it's all plastic. You got to be gentle when it's plastic. But pop those two things off, unscrew your ring again, and then we'll move on and see what's in here. Okay, so this one's up out of there. So it takes some finesse, you know. It doesn't come straight out. In other words, you got to move it around. If you look at it on the side, it's offset. Then there's another clip right here. If you'd like to, you can take the thing all the way out. Just undo that. Just be careful that doesn't fall down inside the tank. You'll be sticking your hand down in there trying to find it. And then you can see the float is here. Like I said, there's enough room here. If you just want to leave it like that, you can pretty much replace it like that. So again, it just has a little clip here that the float slides on. Unplug it, you know, wrap it around, wire it the same way. You can see it's got clips in here. You don't want those wires just free floating, or they'll interfere with the float. We're going to go ahead and do that, and then we will move on and see about putting it back together. Okay, so this one, other than the finesse of getting it back in there, It's actually in the end, it's a little bit easier. So, you know, you can pretty much see where it goes. It's got an arrow to help you out, but pretty much, you know, just line up your hoses, put your ring back on there. Now, the other one, just so you know, when I took it off, I didn't need a ring or anything. I have just a regular 1/2-inch drive with a pipe on it. But putting it back on, I had to tap on it with a hammer some. I guess just the tapping, you know, helps it go back in place. But you stick your ring back on, and this one looks like a mess. Like I said, somebody's had that off, and it looks like they put all kind of crap on there to make sure it's sealed again. Now, if you're worried about it sealing back to here again, what I do is I just use like RTV, form a gasket. It will seal good, and it is relatively easy to get off. This is nasty stuff here. Anyway, so put your ring, put your hoses, you fish the wire back through there, plug in the other side, and then make sure you put your clips back in where it was clipped. So you want to make sure you put those clips back in to help hold it in place. Stick your seats back in, your rear pieces, and you're good to go. Now you're going to have to clear the trouble code on your car. So it will throw an error code because your fuel gauge aren't working. I don't know why. I mean, you know, if they don't work, right? Why do you need an error code? But at any rate, you're going to have to clear that. So you need to get a tool to clear it, or, you know, if you don't have one, just go up to the Advanced Auto or AutoZone or whatever and ask them. They'll clear it for you. So I hope this video helps you out. Thank you for watching. We have tons of videos. You know, be sure to subscribe, take a look. We got everything on this car in particular: brakes, CVC axles, wheel bearings, front and rear. The rear and front are different. Wheel hubs, wheel bearings, whatever you want to call them. So thank you for watching. You have a pleasant day.